Hi there, it's Hélène with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to be playing with the Subculture palette today. I promised this video a little while ago and said that I would have it early in the new year, and I'm just ready to post this video. So we are going to play today. I am going to use a number of these shades, and I'm also going to take a look from day to night. So if you are curious to see me use this palette, just as I described, then stick around. All right, let's get this out of the way. If you like the content on this channel, please consider subscribing. And of course, if you like the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up. We are playing with the Subculture palette today. I love this palette. I absolutely adore this palette. And the only problem I have is that I don't play with it enough, despite the fact that every time I think of, if I could only grab 5 palettes and be out the door, which one would I pick? This one always makes the cut. And it's the colors. And also the fact that it takes a very light hand to get the color payoff. What I mean by that is, it doesn't sound right. What I mean by that is you don't need a whole lot of shadow to get a look. You don't have to pack it on and on and on. You start light and it builds so fast that before you know it, you have a look. Whereas with some other palettes, I find that here I am blending, and it feels like it takes forever to get a look. So I'm very excited to play with my love and to show you a few things that I can do with it. Now I don't know if it really shows on camera. I'm actually wearing a top that has lime green and fuchsia and some reds. And so I want to kind of go with what I have on. And so I'm toying with a few ideas here. I think I'm going to go with a lighter look. A look I haven't done with these exact colors actually, but I'm good to play. I'm thinking All Star. Not so light, but just work with me here. Roxy. And Dawn, right here. Now I need to tell you, I do have some eyeshadow on my eye. I am working with the Smashbox Matte Exposure, and let me show you the colors that I'm playing with. I will try not to blind you. I am playing with Buff and Grounded, these two colors. And so I have I have Buff pretty much all over the eye, and then Grounded in the crease and outer lid. And apparently, I have mascara on my lid. I will take care of that and be right back. Okay, that's hilarious. I was training a couple of ladies this morning. Nobody told me I had a big black dot on my lid, and now I can see it is gone. So, and then the rest of my face, I have just a very, very little bit of makeup. Joe Fresh loose setting powder, a little bit of Nude by Nature Bondi 01 bronzer. I think that's it, and my eyebrows are done with the Sephora retractable pencil, and just looking back there. Oh, and Définicil from Lancôme on my lashes. And for lips, I have the Marc Jacobs Pretty Thing lip color. It's just a very small but very cute and very usable sample that I was going to say using up, but that's not true. I just decided to pick it today. Anyway, it's a High Shine Gloss Lip Lacquer, if you're curious. I like the color. I like the nude nature of it, especially since we're going to be going with quite a colorful look. And then if you are wondering what I have on my nails, it is Purple Rain by Ciate. It is part of the Mini Mani month. It's the color that I picked just this past random pick. If you are curious about this video, I will link it right there. Okay, enough of all this stuff. Let's get back into the subculture. So I think that I have a decent base already. little bit more mascara here. Geez, okay. Anyway, I think I have enough of a base. I will use a little bit of Dawn, but not a whole lot. And we're going to go right into Roxy and All Star. And I think for this purpose, I'm going to use this one. It's actually a concealer brush, but I really like the density of it for shadows, and I have used it before with this palette. I will use also this Anastasia brush, probably more so this end when I'm trying to pack on the lid, if I end up doing that. I did not practice this. I did not try this out first, so there is no trickery here. I'm just using the shadow because, as I've said before, I think the Anastasia shadows are pretty easy to use. So I'm going to debunk this idea that they're hard to work with and that you need a lot of time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start my timer on my phone and tell you exactly how long it took to do this look. Okay, the stopwatch starts now. All right, so I am going to go into, as I mentioned, Dawn right off the hop. And no, I'm just tapping it back into the pan, but not off the pan. I'm just going to put Dawn a little bit here and there. Now I've got mascara on. I know I don't normally do that, put shadow when I've got mascara on, but you know, that is the reality of things sometimes. Okay, so I've got a little bit of Dawn here, and I'm going to go into Roxy, more into the inner lid and crease. So a little bit of Roxy, and I just pat my brush into Roxy. I don't go and... Now you're getting a real view of how I actually do my makeup. I'm not fancy. Okay, so I'm using Roxy all over the inner lid to center lid. And up. And you know, if you're considering, well, she didn't time how much it took her to do a base, with a Smashbox buff, it was like, that was pretty much it. I had stuff to do this morning, and I just wanted to not have a naked lid, so to speak. Okay, so I brought it up into the brow bone and in, and I've got Roxy on pretty much 2/3 of my lid so far, over Dawn to a certain extent. Just going to go into the inner corner here. Okay, so there's Roxy, done. Now we're going to go into All Star. I'm going to go and pat on the outer lid first, and then bring it into the crease because it's a very pigmented color. I have my brush now. This is the side I'm going to use, and let's go into All Star and pat it. Going in for a bit more. I love the pigmentation on this palette. It's just, it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't see any patchiness. I'm very happy with what's going on. Okay, and you see me kind of bringing it into the crease. Now I'm going to go back to the brush I had that I used with Destiny. And just go around, and I've got a nice wash of color. Just going to intensify it again on the lid. Pat, pat, pat. And there is my first look. I'm hoping that you can see what I've done here. This is a very day-appropriate look. Very simple, very easy. I'm just going to blend one last time. This was 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Okay, that's one eye. This is not a palette that is hard to use or takes a long time. If we're getting extra fancy, I can't speak for that, but this is not a palette that's hard to use, in my opinion. Okay, I'm not going to waste your time on the other eye. I'm going to do the other eye, and then I'll speed through it, and then we can talk about this first look. Okay, I have done the second eye, and we are at 6 minutes, and if you look at the last number that I had, 6 minutes and 10 seconds. I don't think anyone would say that that is an overly long period of time. And if you remember, with the first eye, I was talking it out. So this is a very daytime appropriate look, and this was similar to what I did when I had my goddaughter's graduation, and I think it looks very nice. Now, I did feel like what I had for the most part was Dawn and Roxy. I actually went a little bit darker to make a point. Just because I'm using darker shadows does not mean that this palette is more complicated. So 6 minutes, 10 seconds, I think I have a perfectly fine look. I think it is very flattering, and there you go. So that is my first look with the Subculture palette. Again, you will see that I used Dawn, Roxy, and All Star, which is a nice deep plum. Very happy with it, and I'm ready to go for the next look. So what I did, now I did not have something as dark as All Star when I did the second look. What I did was I took this daytime look to night. Again, I was using Roxy and Dawn, which are two lighter colors, but what I did was I covered up this look with Mercury to give myself a smoky eye. So that is what I'm going to do right now. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off my brush so that I can have pretty much just Mercury on the eye. So I'm going to do that right now, and then we'll go into the next look. Okay, so I have just wiped off my brush, and as I said, I'm going to go into Mercury. Now, because I have All Star on the outer lid, I may go into Fudge if I find that Mercury cannot cover the All Star shade, but I would be very surprised because of the pigmentation of these shades. I don't think these shadows are going to have trouble covering that up, but we will see. I could be wrong. So we're going to go right into Mercury. Now, do I necessarily suggest packing one look onto another? No, if you have time, redo your shadow. But the whole point is that sometimes we don't have the luxury of going from day to night and redoing our makeup. Sometimes we have to layer on. And I wanted to show you how easily Subculture did that for me on that day when I had the church ceremony for the graduation and then the gala in the evening. I just packed on Mercury and went about my day for the gala. All right, so I'll stop talking right now, and I'm going to reset the timer for how long it takes me to get into Mercury. Okay, so the stopwatch, I'm not even at 10 minutes of applying makeup and talking, but I'm going to stop it, I'm going to reset it, and start it again for how long it's going to take to apply Mercury. So here we go. Okay, so I have just applied Mercury, a whole 1 minute of effort. So I have done one eye, and I actually had to log back into my phone to see the stopwatch, so it was actually less than a minute to do Mercury, and I think that is definitely a more nighttime appropriate look compared to the right. The only thing that I would do is I would probably do a liquid liner here to just kind of emphasize this, but really what we were worried about was the Subculture palette. So I'm going to do the other eye. I'm going to speed it up so that we can get to the conclusion sooner than later. So hang on. I have finished the second eye and took a little bit of time to take off the fallout, and we are only at 3 minutes. So from the first look to the second look, 3 minutes, and we were pretty much done. That is about 1 minute and some per eye. I don't think that anyone would say that that is too much time. The one thing that I want to do though is I'm going to put a liquid liner on so that you can see the final look as far as what I did wear to the event, and then we can have a final chit chat. Okay, I just did a quick wing with on the upper lash line. I did not do anything else with the mascara, just added liner. I think it looks good. I do think that we have a daytime to nighttime look. This Subculture palette, 2 looks, less than 5 minutes per eye combined using this palette. The thing that infuriates me the most in hearing about the Subculture palette is, you know, if you have the time, make sure you have enough time. No, it depends on how complicated you want to make the look. And these shadows are so usable, so effective, that you can only you only have to use a couple of shadows per look. I think people are trying to get too fancy, and it kind of missed the point. When a palette is this good, you don't have to use 6 shades to have a dramatic, impactful, super flattering look. In essence, the best shadows, whether you go Pat McGrath, whether you go Natasha Denona, whether you go Anastasia, the best looks are 2, maybe 3 shades. I don't think this looks bad. I think this actually looks very put together. And I think that I have confirmed that the pigmentation in these shades make it so that it can give you full opacity over another shade. The fact that Mercury is able to cover All Star in a few sweeps is a testament to this palette. So am I a convert? Absolutely. Am I selling snake oil? Absolutely not. You can't trick this. You saw it. I showed you the timer. There is nothing mysterious about this palette. I think can shades muddy together? Sure, you have to be careful about what is on the opposite ends of the color wheel. I will agree with you on it. But I will not agree that this is a difficult to use palette. Far from it. If I want a look in a couple of minutes, this is the palette that I will go to, which is why I just cannot figure out why there's so much hate on it. I think it is fabulous. I love the colors. It goes from grungy to sophisticated. It is a fabulous palette, and I hope that today's transformation from one look to another, which is a real-life reenactment of something I've done, has been helpful. If you want to see another one of these day to nighttime looks, I would be happy to do that for you. And I do understand there are different views on this palette and the quality of it and the usability of it. I get it. But at least I want to offer my take on it, and I hope you found some aspect of this useful. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it very much. I think you can tell I love this palette. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.